Alright, welcome back to Ain't Jaded Yet again. Still not jaded. Will I ever be? I ain't ever gonna be jaded, my friends, and that's why we're here today. To prevent Darth Jader from taking over. After all, you fuckers. Trying to fucking let you know. Alright, yo. For real, I haven't been to a show. These are live music reviews. But, I mean, honestly, it's going to be your basic comings and goings in the jam scene and jam adjacent and, you know, anything I actually go see live, too. So, just music and shit and stuff. Boy, man, oh God, we'll talk about some shit, you know? You never know what'll be on the news today. Oh boy. All I know is that I'm a lucky man. Maybe I'll make the grade. You know. So, we are going to cover some live music. What you hear in the background is some of Phish dicks. Little Phish dicks. You know, I talked about nights 1 and 2 because I streamed that. I also streamed the majority of nights 3 and 4. Listen to all of it. What you hear in the background is like the one thing that, like, yeah, I didn't even like notice it was missing. So it's not like I missed it at Mondegreen, but like I was really hoping for a Set Your Soul Free. I mean, it's my jam. Now, you want an anthem for a large group of thousands of people gathering? Let's burn it down, set your soul free. We're all here together in a spirit family. Sorry, but if you don't know about this song yet, or the lyrics, I mean, it's kind of my mantra. So here we go. Setting our soul free in Colorado, motherfuckers. I mean, it's a jam vehicle as well. It's 20-something, 26. You know, I saw this one start when I was streaming it, and I was like, clock it. I bet it goes 15 minutes of jamming at least. And it's about 20 minutes of just jamming. I think about 26-minute version right here. So yeah, but we're going to talk about some worlds colliding because the other shit I'm going to cover today is from Goose. So, you know, we talk about Goose and Phish in the same sentence. It's like, oh dear, did he do that just now? Was the world going to explode if he likes Goose, but he likes Phish though? That's why we're here today. To talk about how good both bands are and how fucking awesome all this live music is. Like we're winning. You know? Alright. So let's start with the 31st. We're gonna try to fly through in comparison to my other recent Phish reviews. These two shows, I did stream them both. So Saturday's show, set 1, 46 days for 10 minutes. Off to the races. 46 days, opener. Not usually then that slot. Usually a mid first set, sometimes even a second set. Usually jammed out for a little while. You never know for how long. But 10 minute, 46 days to open. Hell yeah. Right into an 18-minute Oblivion? It's getting weird early. Again, we're going quicker. Rapid fire. Nothing bad to say about a 19-minute-ish Oblivion. Correct? Correctamundo. And then we get to the Axilla Part 2. Just fucking rock and roll, dude. We're rocking and rolling. And it's fast, it's ripping. Axilla, good luck catching a breath in this first set so far, if you were there. And then we got about pushing about a 20-minute backup. This is first set, Phish, guys. Come on. All right, that Undermined does not go too far, does not go the distance. It is a pleasant little reprieve after that 4-song behemoth to start a Saturday night in the first set. We're talking about the first set, guys. If this was a second set, you'd be like, yo, that was a dirty second set. That's conversations we have in the last, I'd say 4 or 5. Really since, Baker's Dozen. Can you even argue that, the first sets are weak ever? The first set Dad Rock era ended long time ago. It's been 8 years. Not to say that ever even happened. I don't even know what you're talking about. Moving on. Maze, 9-minute. Maze into a 7-minute. Free. Maze, free. Free. Fuck yes. Always give me some free. Most events aren't planned. Let's get some synthy page action up in her. Hell yeah, dog. First set, Saturday night, Colorado, August 31st, Dick's Sporting Good Park, Commerce City. Fuck yeah, it's the first set. Alright. Loving Cup opener. So it's set 2. Weird placement, but you're the man on the mountain and you're in Colorado. It makes perfect sense in a lot of ways too, And I gotta say, one thing that I did take a note down here is, we'll get to this later, but, is your cup not full? Well, my cup was pretty full, and I was listening to this from afar, and I wasn't even at any live music this night. Saturday was pretty chill, But then we go, we go into a 25-minute Kill Devil Falls. I can't help but see the fucking troll / jaded comment. That's the thing is, y'all are a different level of troll. You think it's fun. I don't know who it's fun for. Let me know who it's fun for. Get back to me. If it's fun for you, go right ahead. Keep doing it. Who are the others who it's fun for? Anyway, you're putting a lot of energy into something. And I'm saying that because I saw someone say, oh, Kill Devil Falls again? Way to ruin a fucking 25 minutes of killer Kill Devil Falls? Yo. That's what I say to all the poo-pooers out there, whether you are troll status or not. It's still a jaded comment. Because you're in a group where you're a huge hardcore fan of Phish enough to know that when you say, oh, Kill Devil Falls, I don't know, maybe it's all tongue-in-cheek. I don't know. Here's what I do know. That Kill Devil Falls, pretty good time. Then we got What's Going Through Your Mind, Third time played live by this band. Goes for 16 minutes. The second set on Saturday is pretty fucking dope. Trying to go faster. We're already at 8 minutes of this show. JP, your production quality. You gotta get fucking hair and makeup on this fucking bedhead. Scruff action. Fucking detours into talking about hair and makeup are ruining the production quality of your fucking content. Back to the show. Cross-eyed and painless. Hells yeah for 14 minutes. We got Split Open and Melt. It's just a gnarly fucking show. And then we have a Monsters, which, it's I have 2 new jams, new tunes that I really want to get to live. And Monsters and the Well are those right now. I've gotten all the other new tunes, Pillow Jets and a couple Oblivions and this and that, So Monsters, I want to see that one live. Pretty cool from afar. Carini to end that set. Hell yeah. Saturday night. Bugging First Tube. Fishman's wearing a t-shirt that says First Tube is my lube. They're having fun, dude. That's Phish. I'm going to fly through the Sunday show, which was fucking killer and deserves a lot of attention. But because I'm not there, I'm not going to, a super rare dog log to open up. Never Miss a Sunday show. I feel like holds extra weight at Dick's because it's the end of the. It's usually the last. Yeah, it's always like the last weekend of summer tour. So, a little extra weight there, and they open up with some shit that people haven't heard in a long, long, long minute. It's a song about doggy doo-doos. But it's so silly and fun, and it's different, whatever. And, I'm going to hear, I'm pretty sure I heard some people say, like, well, they didn't play it well. Was that the point? Yeah. It wasn't. It was to play a fun song to get everyone going, and it did on a Sunday. Like, genuine excitement levels were extra high when a song that hasn't been played in like a decade gets played. So Dog Love. Then when here's where they real ramp up because Runaway Jim next. Okay, all right, 2 dog songs in a row. Phish is known to do special themed shows at Dick's. I mean, they've done it everywhere. It's random, but they've done things that spell things out. In Colorado, I think they spelled out "thank you" before in a set. Things like that. It's all fun. So people are expecting dogs or animals or something on it. There's no theme tonight, guys. We go to MoMA Dance. That goes for about 7 minutes. MoMA opened Mountain to Green, and MoMA's just it's kind of a special Phish song for me. I just love it. Gets really funky and dancey, and it's great. And then coming up next here, my friend, which has gotten this song length lately at 18 minutes is a long one, but that's like normal now for this tune. So my friend goes there. And it goes into a short but fast and funky tube that lands on a pillowy fluff head. A fluff head. And, it's fluff head. I'm not there. I can't compare it to the one I was at last. So I want to try. Fluff head special. And, right after fluff head, we go to Stash. Whoo! Stashing, yo. And that goes for about 11 minutes, and almost for exactly 11 minutes as well to end the first set. Life Saving Gun, which is a funky, fun, synthy new jam off that album that Trey and Paige did. I believe it's called January. Surprise release. They put out this album called December a few years back on Christmas as a gift to us fans, and just Trey and Paige doing some of their shit. Just the two of them. They recorded it towards the end of COVID, maybe? I don't remember exactly, but anyway, they put out January, and January had some new tunes on it, like Life Saving Gun, and Phish. Been playing that one since last summer, and they can rip it, yo. It's a great time. Alright, I gotta put my notes here. 1 second. So then we got Prince Caspian to open up the second set to end this summer tour, which, a 5-minute Caspian, just 5, So, it was almost like that Prince was trying to set his soul free, and he did it. Because what you can hear in the background is, about 20 something minutes into that Set Your Soul Free that we'd be talking about right about here. So it's going to be over in a few, and it's going to transition into a fucking tweezer. I mean, Set Your Soul Free into tweezer, into Light. That's a 3-song segment right there that is right up this guy's alley right there. Big fan of Light. Check out that Light from Mountain to Green. Check out that Light from, most lights in the last few years. Light. Life beyond the dream. don't give up hope. You know what I mean? We ain't. And then this was a cool change up from such a a good anthem to sing along to and be very positive and look forward to the rest of your life about, Life Beyond the Dream into The Howling, which I heard the the crowd reaction, as it should be, a fan favorite by now. The Howling. The Howling, 'cause now it's time. And it's starting to feel good. I mean, it's got some 2001 element in that, that starting to feel good. It's like a DJ drop right there. What better thing to live while I'm young? Feel good, you can feel good. You get it. And then we got more, fitting towards the end of this show for more to get played. There is definitely got to be something more than this. Life Beyond the Dream, more. We're getting a little bit of a theme going towards the end here, but then we've got things like Character Zero right after more. This second set is pretty unique for Phish. There's a lot of songs in it total. There's things like Zero for just 5 minutes and Caspian for just 5 minutes. There's The Howling. There's a 24-minute Set Your Soul Free. But after this Zero, we have Slave. To end out this second set. Which, you throw More and Slave towards the end of a show like that. They're not party starter, let's kick off the rest of the evening type songs, but they are about as good as you could ask for towards the end of a show to feel that we're coming to an end. But here's what happened, is Phish was like, let me bust out some shit again, and played Sabotage. Fucking Beastie Boys. Phish gets called a cover band for stuff like this. But the reason they're playing Sabotage isn't because we've run out of our own songs. We're probably gonna have to just pick somebody else's shit if we're gonna have fun at this point. Because they wanted to fucking blast Sabotage right there, right then, for those people's faces. And those people's faces got fucked in the good way, of course. Calling all y'all. They were probably grinning and laughing the whole time they're playing it. No one saw that coming. Famously from an era of Phish where they would cover, big shit in, big radio songs. Champagne Supernova, I think. Sabotage, Chumbawamba. There's just Gin and Juice. That's probably why they got dubbed that. Was from that era. It was all they do is cover. They got more original songs than just about any artist and more than the Beatles. Here's one thing I do know: they have an absurd amount of their own original music. So much so that our fan base has found that to be a reason to get jaded, in my opinion. There's a lot of songs through this Colorado run, I'm not there, but that were played at Monterey and that were played at Bethel. They were all long periods of time apart. So, that's the Dick's Run review. We got those 2 nights. We're at 20 minutes. I want to keep things moving. These are reminders for me. I'm going to cover one more live thing, which was Goose on that same night, night 4. I caught the second set, which was up on YouTube. I don't have a Nugs account, so I couldn't catch that whole shebang, but they also posted the opener, so I caught that Flow Down opener. They played a new tune, Goose did, this evening on the 1st. And that is called Big Modern! Exclamation point. I don't know if the exclamation point is because it's a debut or because there's supposed to be an exclamation point on the song. New shit from these boys, you know? Real quick set rundown, flow down, misdirection, Draconian Meter Maid, which is a live debut from Cotter's old band Swimmer. We have Drive, Seekers Part 1 and Part 2. We have Save Our Ship, Big Modern debut, which goes for a ham amount of minutes. And to Feel It Now, Growing on Me. New Goose has definitely hit me different. Everything Must Goes. The shit that wasn't around 3 years ago, they started playing live in the last 2 years more and more. Just like a lot of these other bands do. Growing on Me. But that 3-song second set is what I did check out. So Big Modern, I can't say I have an opinion about it yet, but that thing, for the first time out, it jammed in a fun, cool way. Feel It Now is always, it's good. I'm enjoying it. It's growing on me. I feel like it's got a funky groove to it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Then Madhuvan. The Madhuvan can be a jam vehicle, but Madhuvan, set closer, 3-song set, Goose will get a lot of shit for, only playing a few songs in your set, It's like, do whatever you fucking want, We'll get to why that's true in a minute. We're covering the live aspects up front. And here's one thing that I had no choice but to discuss tonight. I don't know if you guys can see pictures from my phone on here, but, just look at this guy. Look at this guy at dinner, He's having dinner over at this guy's house. You guys know who that guy is? His name's Bert Kreischer. And I feel like he's an easy person to have a polarizing opinion about. Anytime that a man's MO is taking their shirt off and making a drunken fool of themselves, it doesn't really attract the kind of crowd that appreciates tasty 36-minute jams of, did you hear section 2 where they went to type 2 and type 3? And I can't fucking speak that language. I do know when I fucking feel awesome because of live music. And I know when certain things happen, and I can tell you the basics of dude, check out what that dude's doing with that pedal over there because I just saw it, but I don't know what's really happening. Here's what I do know. Is I saw a man that I formed an opinion of years ago, when he first started gaining popularity, and I found out in this episode of his YouTube show, his live podcast, where he cooks. It's called Bert. What? Why didn't I write down? Oh, right here. Yeah, it's called Something's Burning. So the podcast is he cooks for guests. They sit at his counter and he makes you a drink and hangs out. It's very menschy, honestly. And for someone who has a foundation of being popular based on chugging funnels and making an ass of themselves, has really grown up. Started hearing him on some podcasts here and there. Ones that are of comedians that I really love, like your Pete Holmes out there would have him on. And I'm like, I thought this guy was only on Joe Rogan's podcast, who I also happen to love, and is a polarizing ass. Anyway, the point I'm getting to is turns out Bert Kreischer is a ginormous Goose fan. They're his favorite fucking band. Finding this out blew my mind the first time I did because I saw that they were on his podcast, and that's when I talked about it. And he talked about sorority, and now him and his wife made love to it, and that's a big deal. And it made all the Goose guys feel super uncomfortable. You could hear it audibly. And that's the fucking beauty of worlds colliding. And that's the next segment of Ain't Jaded Yet. And here's why. You shouldn't be jaded yet. Worlds are fucking colliding, folks. We have your Mark Marons hanging out with your Trey Anastasios. We have your Bert Kreischers hanging out with your Peter Anspachs and your Rick Mitochondrias. We have cats and dogs living together. I mean, we have Poolside and Jim James. I'm not going to dive into that, but it's like My Morning Jacket hanging out with a DJ who covered his song, and then they worked together to mix that and record it as a real electronic My Morning Jacket, Jim James. What? Poolside. Things are happening like this all over the scene this year. Worlds are fucking colliding. And it's a beautiful thing. Alright. This man, I watched transformation. Like so this episode of his podcast it surprised me. I was like, oh shit, I can like watch one of my favorite bands hanging out. Fuck yeah. So it's kind of awkward at times because he has like Howard Stern type questions to ask of the boys. And they're sweet gentlemen. You know, a lot of them are around 30. I think Rick mentioned they're like 33, so they're all like around 30 years old. And you know, Trevor doesn't even drink, but they're like hanging out and he's making tequila drinks. You can tell Bert is as jacked as I would be if I was like having dinner with Trey or something. Which I can't even fathom how I would handle that. I think it would go better than I could even imagine. But the fact is, I wouldn't be able to contain myself. I'd be like, holy fuck, dude! What are you doing here? But literally, it's like a weird, like Bert's an older guy than them, and they're at his counter, and like Bert's family's in the background, like trying to contain him from afar while he's cooking them paella and shit. Anyway, it's super entertaining. And it's super sweet. He gets Trevor to open up. I ain't heard anybody do that yet. He has some personal shit, some deep shit. And I learned some real deal stuff about that man that plays bass for Goose. A man of very few words, but very big humor. I also caught the video log that Goose put out from this past summer tour. You know, I did catch them at Canandaigua, Forest Hills, and Westville Bowl. Earlier this summer on the summer tour, I got 3 dates. So, you know, I have nothing but good things to say about Goose. Some big boy Goose out there lately, boys and girls. And if you didn't notice, the lights are bigger, the sound is bigger, the jams are bigger, the crowd is bigger, and rightfully so. Very deserving. Props to the boys. Here's the part where I, like, take every negative connotation that I still have left about Bert Kreischer because I had already gotten my mind changed from hearing him on podcasts. But what happened last night was I watched a grown man cry his eyes out while his favorite band played his favorite song in his fucking kitchen. And it brought me to tears. Like, I mean, look at this guy. Like, you can't see it on my phone, but, like, check out this video of, like, how can you say a negative thing about that kind of love for a band? I fucking love Bert. Nah, like, I've loved Bert for a minute. Like, his movie he put out, The Machine, is actually really funny. Haters are gonna hate. You know? It's something I've learned. Haters are gonna hate. But you know, someone told me recently, this little award I got right here, and you know, I feel like this fighting the good fight thing, this is a reminder. It says, bitch, you're doing a good job. And you know what, bitches? I am doing a good job. And you are too. All you motherfuckers out there. Whoa. Did he just say that? Yeah, you can say motherfuckers in a positive way. You know. Don't mean any harm. Let's talk about some worlds colliding. Damn. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to contain the length of these. Shut the front door. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So, I mean, let's go back to this. We had some King. Go back to King Giz. That's what I keep doing. It's like I take breaks, but then I go back to King Giz. Can't get enough of it. All right, they're part of this world's colliding conversation. Where to start with the world's colliding? We started with Bert Kreischer, so we're going to continue there. You know, this man was brought to tears in his own kitchen, and watching him gush and like hearing him say, you know, he couldn't even put it into words. His family had to tell him to just say thank you, and then he did. He like praised them, and he said, you know, the way that he said it, he said, I'm living my best fucking life. It's fucking great. So from there, you know, we're gonna go to some celebrity style connections, because what happened this year was Mark Maron had Trey Anastasio on his podcast, and this man famously in the past has said, I don't know about Phish, I don't think I have enough time to do that. Like, that's a lot. What? I gotta bring this up. So, like, whenever I hear that kind of connotation, like, I don't know if I have enough time. What the fuck? Get that shit out of your brain. Get that shit out of your brain. Like, there's a scene in Between Me and My Mind, Trey Anastasio's movie, where he talks about the band, which had a movie called The Last Waltz, and the band is doing their last show as a band. And one of the members of the band is being interviewed during this film. And they're asking him why they're hanging it up. And he says, yeah, I've been doing this for about 10 years, so, yeah, we're just gonna call it. We're done. Trey references that scene in The Last Waltz, and like, no, nothing against the band, like, I love them, but Trey references this scene specifically because his way is the antithesis of that, is why would I ever stop? You know, the William Montgomery. I ain't never gonna stop. I ain't never gonna be jaded, and Trey ain't never gonna stop playing music for us because it's not a contest. It's not a contest. It's all connected. That's why worlds are colliding. That's why someone like Mark Maron has Trey on after he has Billy Strings on, after he had Les Claypool on, the order of that, and I don't know if scheduling podcasts, but Mark Maron has one of the biggest podcasts ever. World WTF. Presidents have been on there. Worldwide. His Trey on. And they're fucking quick friends. Of course. They're both huge music nerds. Like, it's why I would get, like, audibly... I've yelled at Mark in the car before when he's brought up Phish and poo-pooed them. I'm like, you'd fucking hang out with Trey and be friends instantly. So hearing it happen in the garage with Mark, fuck yeah. Some good shit. Alright. More worlds colliding. Let's go back to like the celebrity connections had me thinking. What are celebrity... You know, because... Goose, really piggybacking off of Bert Kreischer, bro. You know, after Goose just like... You know, Phish just piggybacked off of Drew Carey, right, man? I just think it's all fucking hilarious. You know, this is so fun. I mean, we got the whole blender thing with Drew Carey now. We got this Bert Kreischer thing. I mean, are there going to be, like, belly memes? I mean, that's the other thing, like, with Bert that I noticed in that episode of his podcast last night is, dude's svelte compared to, like, can he even break out the naked belly anymore? He doesn't even look like he's that fat. Respect to everyone involved here. You know, we had Drew Carey at the Sphere to see Phish. But classically, Danny motherfucking DeVito has been a Phish head for a long time. You know, there's been some other celebrities in the Phish world, you know, but I think I saw a picture of Martha Stewart and Flavor Flav hanging out at the Sphere together. You know, I remembered Katie Tur, national news, maybe like a big city news caster, and she would, very, very cleverly put into her news bits Phish lyrics. No one would know the difference. It's kind of beautiful, actually, because I do it constantly to my friends, and they never know. I've done it on here. You probably may have not known, or maybe so, maybe not. You know, maybe so, maybe not. You know, I remember John Mayer was at Phish Halloween in a unicorn onesie. There's some worlds colliding, you know. It might have been before Dead & Co. I can't remember. Back on Danny DeVito, later, you know, Always Sunny, Frank Reynolds connection, Charlie Day famously brought up on, I think, his podcast that him and his friends all went to Clifford Ball for Phish. Yeah, so it's all here, you know. So we're gonna go back to a couple quick more. Here's the last of the celebrity stuff here, connections. Like I saw a tweet. Ocho Cinco, the former NFL receiver, was saying going to see King Gizzard, bringing Bill Belichick. Like, I don't know how much validity there is to that. Like, if they did actually go, they probably couldn't sit out in the regular crowd. So if it did happen, I couldn't argue against it. Apparently it was a real post. But did it actually happen? I don't know. Tell me. I'd love to find out. I actually Googled it before I did this to find out a little research. I don't know if there's anything that really happened there, but the fact that it was an actual real tweet, I don't know. Anyway. So, back to the celebrity connections thing there. So for another little band that it's on the screen right here, there's a celebrity fan of theirs. His name's Trey Anastasio. You see how it's all interloped in here? It's not a contest. There are no torches. The torch is for that other games that just happened earlier this summer. And those are games. These aren't. Anyway, let's get to another connection. This is another sweet little band called Aggie. 4-piece from Connecticut. Fuck yeah, Aggie boys. So during, I think it was towards the end of COVID, they did a live stream from Westville Bowl in Connecticut, and towards the end of it, they covered something that I didn't recognize, and so I looked it up, and it was Interior People by King Gizzard and the Wizard. Fucking killer song. Check out the music video that King Giz created for this. The animation is amazing. Aggie did this shit justice on that stream. I then had that song in my regular Spotify rotation. I'm like, that's King Giz? I need to pay more attention to them. Still, I keep saying that, even after I just saw them, and I'm paying a lot more attention to them. They're deserving of my attention. That's me telling myself that. Not you. Alright, so then, here's why I bring up Interior People and Aggie. Fast forward to this previous New Year's down in New York City, and Trey is, along with his whole band, Phish, learning Interior People by King Gizzard, Trey's favorite band. Someone comes over to him while they're rehearsing and says, "Hey, have you seen this Aggie version that they did? What I'm talking about?" Trey checks it out. Trey says, "Scratch that. Them boys already did it." I mean, that's some respect, yo. You know, and the fact that two bands that I love, Aggie and Phish, are like debating, like, yo, is it okay for us to cover this current band? It's cool. It's a cool world. Does that make King Gizzard cooler than Phish and Aggie? No, I mean, kinda. This isn't about being cool on this podcast, but if it was, like, I mean, that kind of says it right there. Like, those two bands are like, yo, can we cover Interior People? Aggie did it first. Well, I guess Phish can't do it now. I don't know. I just thought it was fucking awesome. It's very cool. So, you know, where did Darth Vader come from? You know, if you come this far, we're 40 minutes into a fucking... a long one, guys. Like, a rambler. A serious rambler. And where did Darth Vader come from? So I've been trying to figure it out. And, you know, is this a contest? Some bands are probably a little competitive. There are contests where bands compete, you know, but not the way that we're ingesting these kind of things. Not the way that we're poo-pooing things and becoming jaded about things. It's not a contest like that, you know, and I think it all kind of boils down to is, from the experience, you know, is your cup not full? Because in a lot of these shows, especially this past month in August, cup is full. It doth overfloweth. Plenty to sprinkle. You know, if it's not full, then why? You know, what is leading to your jadedness? And I've come to a few just ideas, you know, not conclusions. But you just need to check yourself. You know, why am I getting jaded? Check yourself. Because it probably has nothing to do with the live music you just experienced. Probably, you know, you could blame it on the humidity or the really rough temperature, how long you waited in line to get into the show. But the music that the band performed and the energy that was brought from the band and the crowd and the audience and the interaction and the enjoyment and the fun that was happening during the song that you're shitting on 5 hours later on your phone, what's the purpose? Still researching that. I don't know. So chickadee check yourself. Is the reason why you're jaded because of the songs you heard? Is it... You know, I feel like the one silver lining I've found in the jadedness community is it so that people like Trey, who pay attention to things, like, you know, they could probably just use AI now to get a general picture of what his fan base are saying in social media. But I'm sure he hears rumblings from word of mouth. He's a very real person. He's connected to the scene. So if things are being said, he finds out about them. And if all you ever do is bitch and moan about everything he fucking does, if you had not learned that it doesn't matter, and it's not going to change shit, that they're going to play whatever they want anyways, like, so you're wasting your breath, at best. Anyway, I don't know. It's not them, you know. And here's my recommendation to unjade yourself, to become ain't jaded as I am. Diversify, yo. I don't know if you know this, but I've covered a lot of different bands, and it's only been 2 weeks. So, you know, longest one yet right here, 40, let's go. We're going. 40-something minutes, but I covered a lot, you know. Covered a lot, and I plan on covering more. Might get out to see Annie in the Water sometime on Sunday later on. We'll see. There's a lot of things between now and then, but that's a possibility. And if I do that, I would cover that show. Yeah. Let's just keep it. Let's keep it rolling like a cantaloupe, out of control. And I'll see you next time. I'm gonna flash the peace, the deuce. Y'all be well. I'll catch you on the flip.